Now we're continuing the Dvar Malchut, a speech given by the Lubavitcher Rebbe in 1992. And in it, he is discussing what exactly is the land of Israel and what exactly is the Torah. And stressing what's that relevant to this week's Torah portion, because this week's Torah portion talks about Abraham. And Abraham was the first Jew. And the whole point of Judaism, says the Rebbe, is to reveal God in this world. That's the point of Judaism, to make the world a holy temple, real God in the world. And that was the whole idea of Abraham, God telling Abraham, Lech lecha, go out of your comfort zone. You're a very holy person, a very spiritual person, a very great person, and leave that. Go out, fix up the world. Go out and fix up the world. And Abraham did that. And eventually God said, okay, now Abraham, circumcise yourself. You're part of the world. You're going to get new powers. Circumcise yourself. I'm going to give you new powers to fix up the world. New awareness of me and new courage and fortitude and inspiration and blessing to put that awareness in the world. Everyone in the world will know in the world. And that is the Torah. When God gave the Torah to the Jews, right? So God telling Abraham, Lech lecha means go into the world. Circumcision is even more, having an effect on the world, physical, permanent, godliness in the world. And Abraham's circumcision, that's called the Brit. And after that, it came even more into the world. But that's the whole thing of Abraham, bringing God. He began Judaism, which is making the world, physical world, holy. Then after that came the Torah. God gave the Torah with all the commandments, exact commandments what to do. And then the grand finale is God promised Abraham the land of Israel, a physical, mundane place with dirt and rocks and rivers and flowers and trees, just like every other place in the world. And that's supposed to be made holy also. Land of Israel became holy. Okay, but Kibush, when the Jewish people conquered the land of Israel, the Avdo, and they started working in it, the tabernacle and the sacrifices, then it came to be revealed, expressed. Avoda, the service, Shlema of Chibur, Elyonim, of joining the upper worlds with the lower worlds. That's the idea of the giving of the Torah. Shemavorim, that we can refine, umalim, and elevate. At the Oretz Alazu, this physical land, Tachtona, the physical land, Gashmiut, physical, mundane, Olam, this regular, normal, physical, nasty world. And make it a dwelling for God. And therefore, Shleimut Kiyam Mitzvahs, therefore the completion, the finale of the doing of the commandments that were given at the giving of the Torah is only in the land of Israel. Huh? I know I've given this example 1,000 times, but I want to give it again because I think it's a pretty good example. What does it mean elevating the world? What does it mean elevating the world? Once in a while, you get somebody who, they have these programs on videos about pawn shops, right? Guys come into pawn shop. Here is a shoe my grandfather left me. He said it was an important shoe. I shouldn't throw it away. Is it worth anything? The guy looks at it and says, wow, this shoe was actually worn by, Genghis Khan. It's got his initials over here. This thing is worth $7 million. What are you talking about? $7 million. I was just about to throw it in the garbage. You want to throw it in the garbage? Throw it in my garbage can. $7 million. I'll give you $1 million for it. $7 million. I want all seven. What do you mean $1 million? You were just about to throw it in the garbage. Get nothing. $7. All of a sudden, this shoe becomes tremendously elevated. It's in all the newspapers. Shoe of Genghis Khan found in New Jersey, right? Here the guy's holding up the shoe and he's got guards standing around him. The guy's afraid. What happened? It was a regular shoe. But because it was won by Genghis Khan, so all of a sudden this thing is worth a fortune, right? And this happens. People find these old, rolled up things, these pictures, they're going to throw them away. Well, the picture from Rembrandt, from who knows, some guy, Andy Warhol, some. The picture is with a fortune. I was just looking, I just saw there was these pictures. I can't remember the guy's name, but his picture sold for like $1 billion. $1 billion. The picture sold for $1 billion. I think there's even one that sold $1 billion. What's the picture? It's like 4 different colors on the page. That's all there is. Green with blue, but how they interact and how they as soon as you see it, if you see my signature on it, the thing is worth at the most maybe $10 that you could put it on your wall, to cover it up if you have a hole on your wall. But this guy's name is written on it. Who knows what it is? A Schmerl Gross or something. $1 billion of things. Well, the whole world has got God's signature on it. And God is more valuable than Genghis Khan or whatever it is. God existed forever. The whole world, every detail is, so the world suddenly becomes tremendously precious. That's what Abraham wanted to bring into the world, that everything in the world has God's signature on it. Everything in the world, every detail is precious. What to do with it, how to do with it, that's what we have the Torah for, to tell us what to do. But the main thing is the physical world. This physical world is worth more than the angels, more than this. So Jewish people taking over the whole piece according to this, now we can understand that giving the land of Israel simply to Abraham and to his offspring forever, this, when God gave it, this also gives the power, the ability, the shlemos, to doing the commandments and the good deeds after the giving of the Torah. That the good deeds we do, they will make a refinement and a purification of the whole entire physical world. Now, when we use something to serve God, then that something becomes precious, believe, without any, it's like washing it off and showing God's signature on it. Shazui, this is the sheikhs, that's the connection of Lech Lecha, what God said to Abraham, go to the land that I will show you. That's the whole idea that was real. When did God say Lech Lecha? When Abraham was 75. And then 24 years later, as God said, now circumcise yourself. So that was one whole 24-year-old long process of taking Abraham out from the spiritual and bringing him into the physical. Good morning. When Abraham went to the land of Israel, and God giving the land of Israel to Abraham, this is Hemshech Echad. This is one continuum and one topic. From the beginning of this week's Torah portion, when God tells Abraham, go out from your land where you are, now you are spiritual, now you are wonderful, you're great, leave it. Get into the world. Lech Lecha. This is one topic, giving the power and the beginning of joining the upper worlds and the lower worlds. That this was accomplished when God gave the Torah and was actually manifested totally when the Jews went into the land of Israel. We can say, just like the circumcision, that this expresses the completion of making God a dwelling in the world in the human body. The bris milah, the circumcision, that makes the body sign of that the Jewish body is holy. Similarly, the land of Israel, this expresses making the world holy. So to speak, the land of Israel, this is the circumcision, this is the covenant place of the whole entire world with God. Just like Jewish circumcision, you just take one limb of the body, make a small mark on it, and that makes the whole body holy. Same thing, the land of Israel takes one part of the world, and you just make a little sign that the Jewish people live there, do what God wants. That's the covenant between God and the whole world. That's the bris. Which that sort of explains why it's always in the news and why everybody cares about it and why it's a central point of the world, because that's like the central point of the body as well. It's the organ of procreation for the whole world. Israel is the organ of procreation for the whole entire world. It brings blessing and fruitfulness and into the whole world. And that's why people hate it. That's the real cause for anti-Semitism, because people just hate good. I mean, everybody hated Moses. Everybody hated David, King David. According to Maimonides, King David, he was the first Moshiach. Read in Psalms, take a book of Psalms in English and read and see what's going on. There's Psalm number 25. I feel even from the beginning, right? Everybody hates me. Everybody wanted to kill King David, and he didn't do anything wrong. Exactly, that's the point. He did everything he did was right, and the people hated him for it. Why did they hate him for it? Because King David was a sign that you can't do what you want. You have to do what God wants. And that's what King David's whole thing was. David is the progenitor of Moshiach. He's going to fix up the whole world. So that's like the covenant. That's like the circumcision, that we have to cut away all the bad things in the world. And that is the point. That Israel is the connecting the whole world to the Creator. Alpis, according to this, Yuvan, now we can understand and what we can learn from in actual deed. What's the practical lesson over here of Lech Lecha and how it is a preparation for the giving of the Torah? Mikei, even since Sha'avodah, that's serving God, Tzarich Aliyot has to be tamid constantly, but often in a way of halicha, of doing more and more, and doing more genuine and more genuine. Until halicha shelo be'erech, until going incomparable to what was yesterday. I mean, just put it in the proper place. A person could say, "Listen, why should I do these crazy things for God? I mean, let me alone. Let me alone. I just want to do what I want. I have to live according to some book." So to that person, you say, "Listen, God is creating you. That's an amazing gift being created. You know how much people pay to have a heart transplant, to have a liver transplant. People wait in line for who knows how long to fix your eye, fix your ear, and God gives it to everybody free, right? There's 9 billion people in the world. All of them have livers. A few of them don't, okay? But those that do should be thankful to God. So, okay, thank you, God. Wait, 1 minute. God is giving you life. He's giving you everything. He's creating you, and that's all you can do is say thank you. I mean, it's good you're saying thank you. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And if that's all you do, okay, good. But, between us, it's not enough. It's not enough. A little bit, yeah, you got a point. Okay, so I'll say thank you to God twice a day. Also very nice. But what about in the middle? God is creating you. What are you supposed to do with that? So everything you do should be connected to God. I think I told you the story before. Maybe this will be in the place of today's story, but it won't be. There was a wonderful person called Reuven Dunim. He passed away like 20 years ago. Hard to believe, but he passed away 20 years ago. And he was very close to the Rebbe. He loved the Rebbe very much. And he went to a lawyer, and he gave his house over to the Rebbe. Gave his house over, the deed of his house, everything. He went to the Rebbe. He said, "Rebbe, I'm giving you my house. You can take it. You can do whatever you want to with it. I'll find a place to live." But he had a lot of kids. I don't know exactly where he figured he would live with his children. But anyway, or maybe this is after his children all got married. So he said, "You can do it." So the Rebbe said, "Thank you very much. Really appreciate it." He said, "You want really this house to be mine?" He said, "Yeah." Gave him back the keys. He said, "Take the keys. You live in the house and do what I want in the house." And that's what God wants from us. He wants that we should be in the world. We should appreciate the world. You want to say thanks to God? You live in the world. You have a job. You have a wife. You have a family. You have money. You have a car. You have everything you want, but do it the way I want. That's all. That's all God says. You don't have to be a zombie walking around all the time saying Shema Yisrael, Shema Yisrael. But be a normal person in the world. Say Shema Yisrael twice a day. You're supposed to say Shema Yisrael 100%, and think about God as much as you can. But really, the fact is, you're supposed to be the attitude that everything in the world really belongs to God. And God wants me to be normal. He wants me to have a sense of humor. But He wants me to do it in His way. And what is His way? You have to love. You have to live. You have to ask rabbis. You have to have friends. Life is not just a picture. Life is dynamic. But that's the thing of Abraham. It's moving. That's what it says. It's moving all the time. Lech lecha. That's the idea of the whole giving of the Torah was a preparation for the giving. Lech Lecha is a preparation for the giving of the Torah. Miki even says the service of God has to be always in a way of moving and moving in a way which is incomparable today, what it was yesterday, and tomorrow, incomparable to what it wasn't today. This includes also the idea of the giving of the Torah. The Torah has to be brand new in your eyes every day. So it's understood that you always have to be Lech Lecha. You always have to be moving and increasing and never satisfied with where you are spiritually. How much more so? When it's talking about a Gil, the revelation, Shalo Be'erich, incomparable of we're preparing for the future redemption. Harimikiv, and since the Lech Lecha, that which God told Abraham, go, the Kenyan Eretz Israel, and the possession of the land of Israel, is a preparation for the beginning of the Torah. We just finished saying, God telling Abraham, go out of your land. That's a preparation for the giving of the Torah. And also that God gave Abraham the land of Israel forever. That's also preparation for the giving of the Torah. You'll have a place that you can do all the commandments. Israel. This depends on in this depends the completion of the giving of the Torah. Because the whole purpose of giving the Torah is not a roadmap to get to heaven. It's not to teach the Jews how to get out of this terrible world and avoid doing sins. That's also true. But that's not the main point of it. The main point of the Torah is bringing God into the world. If you do bad things, that hides over God, like the circumcision, like the foreskin, covers over. And doing good things in the world, that reveals God more and more. That's what we believe. Shekal Zaman, that all the time, Shechaser b'shlemut kinyan all the time, that the land of Israel is not totally conquered and settled. We conquered it? Didn't we conquer it? He says, no, we never took over all 10 lands. Even Joshua only took over 7. Like it is now, Kasher Ein Lanu, SRS, we don't have all 10 kingdoms that God promised to Abraham. We only have 7 of them. Like I said before, I should have brought this up. A map of how Israel is supposed to look. Right? It's like 3 times bigger than it is now. Chaser also, as long as all the Jews are not living in the complete land of Israel, there's also lacking the giving of the Torah. The outcome of the Torah has not been, the potential hidden in the Torah has not been revealed. Shlemo Kiyum Torah, doing the Torah and the commandments, which we do now, are still incomplete. Why? Because the Torah and the commandments are supposed to reveal godliness in the world. Only by means of that should be the completion of Lech Lecha, going out from your land to the land that I show you. What's the land that I showed you? God promised Abraham 10 kingdoms. Kenyan Eretz Israel, the complete land of Israel, all 10 lands, then will be the completion of doing the Torah and the commandments, like Kamitzvah Sonecha, like it will be in the future redemption. Lochem, therefore, all the time that we are found still before the redemption, that the land of Israel is not complete, and therefore, Nogea, it is relevant. Actually, the commandment of Lech Lecha. We're still going. God promised him, Abraham, go from your land and receive the 10 lands I get you. And we're still going. This is like 4,000 years ago, and we're still moving. This is the land that I'm going to show you. A kingdom, the possession of the complete land of Israel, all 10 lands. I'll try to bring this up in a second. Also as a preparation for the completion of the Torah and the commandments. Because the Torah that we have now, we don't feel the godliness in the Torah. Right? Because we don't feel the godliness of the Torah, the Torah can easily be misinterpreted. I know I've said this 100 times, and I shouldn't really have said it at all, but I'll say it again. All of Christianity is based on total misinterpretations of the Torah. Right? Gross errors in mistaking the words of the Torah for the words of man. And that we made it up so we can unmake it and do whatever we want to. It says in the future there's going to be a new Torah when we'll feel that every word of the Torah is the interpretation is exactly the way the rabbis of the Talmud said. We'll see it, we'll feel it. In addition to that, which is relevant to the giving of the Torah every day, we also have to see the Torah brand new every day. This is all this of the revelation of the godly Torah, the pure Torah and the pure land of Israel will only be after the Geula. And therefore will be no guess relevant also the service of Lech Lecha until that day. Now let me see, maybe I'll try to bring that, let's see. Let me see, maybe I can bring this up, huh? Eretz Yisrael Sheniv of huh? The Avra. Oh, still not so good at typing. There we go. Where is this thing? I know that there was on. What's going on over here? Okay. Oh, this. Oh, let's try it. Ready? Ready? Go. Here we go. See, 1 second. We got to get the whole land. Oh. Oh, here we go. See, this is the land that was promised to Abraham. This is the land that we got now. And this is what was promised to Abraham, all this. There's all these different interpretations, but let's see, maybe I can get a better picture over here. Oh. Maybe this is the one. Maybe I think this is the one. Huh? Can you see this? Oh, here it is. Here. See? Here, this is the land of Israel now. We got over here. This is the land of, and this is what's promised. All of this until it goes into to Persia, to Iran. All this whole business, this is supposed to be Israel. So it'll go into Lebanon and etc. Where is Israel now? 1 second. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, anyway, this is it, yeah. So it goes into Lebanon. No, this is not right. Here, this is what's going on over there. That was totally wrong. 1 second. I shouldn't have gotten into this. Why did we do this? Here, Israel is down here. 1 second. All right, let's go back. I thought this would be easy. I should have known better. Here we go. Where is it? Here, let's see. Can you do this? Maybe this is it. Okay. Here's Israel Muftachat. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Good. Okay. Here we got the land of Israel. Here we go. This is Jordan. This is this. Okay. What are we promised? Well, it doesn't have it over here. Isn't this awful? Okay, I should have done more homework. The same picture we had before. Okay, just wasting time. I'm sorry. The land of Israel. Why can't they just have a simple picture of Israel? Why do they do this? They have the picture of the top of Israel, the bottom of Israel, flag of it. Okay. Is this it? Here's Egypt. No, this is the journeys of Abraham. Okay, forget it. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry I got into it. I'll prepare it for tomorrow, God willing. I'll prepare it for tomorrow. Let's go. Okay. The explanation in this is as follows. Matim, also according to the Penimis Inyanim. Take my word for it. The land of Israel is going to be about 4 times bigger than it is today. And that's what God promised to Abraham. So it's going to happen when Moshiach comes, and that's the whole idea of the completion of the Torah, and all the Jews will be living in the land of Israel. Kivush, the conquering of these 7 lands, this indicates on the service of refining the 7 emotions of God and the 7 emotions of us. 7, and that we've got. And the 3 lands, additional lands that Abraham was promised but did not receive, we didn't receive it yet. That's the Kini and the Kenizi and the Kadmoni. That corresponds to the 3 aspects of intellect. Simply put, we nowadays can do what God wants. We can appreciate God for a certain degree emotionally, but we don't really understand what God is. We don't really perceive what God is. God is a totally, this is when we receive the additional 3 lands, that will be together with a whole new awareness of what God is. Whole new awareness. I mean, let's go back to the example that I just gave, right? As soon as this man is told that this shoe was worn by Genghis Khan, it's worth $3 million, $7 million, whatever it is, then all of a sudden his understanding is totally different, right? It was the same shoe. You saw the same shoe before. It was nothing different. But he was told by an expert that this shoe is worth $7 million. So all of a sudden he starts to think, what am I going to do with $7 million? What does that mean? What can I buy with $7 million? He never, right, dreamed of having so much money, $7 million, right? And then he thinks, why would it be worth so much? All of a sudden he has a whole new appreciation, a whole new set of emotions. Everything is genuine, right? $7 million shoe. Why is that? Right? He all of a sudden he's worried. Maybe somebody will take it from me. Maybe this guy was lying. Maybe it's really worth 70 million. Maybe I'll take it to somebody else. Maybe I shouldn't go into the street because people will see it. It's going to get. All of a sudden, his whole life revolves around this new concept that he's got in his mind. Well, the same thing is when we realize how precious the world is, and how precious every detail of the world is, and how infinitely more precious is the Torah, that it tells us what to do with the world. So all that's a whole new concept, paradigm of what reality is. That's called the 3 lands. That corresponds to the 3 lands that we don't have yet. We don't have a true awareness of what God is. We just know that God is. We don't know what God is. Nowadays, the land of Israel, we only have the 7 lands because now our main service of God is working on our emotions, not to lose our temper, to be kind to people, etc. Avoda, the service of the 3 aspects of consciousness, of intellect, now is mainly in order just to have an effect on our emotions. We can come to love God more. We can come to appreciate God. That's what Chabad Hasidut is, thinking about God so we can come to love God more, fear God. But in the future, it won't be that way. Kasher calling in that everything in the service of God will be complete. Then it says Mole, Hachim Male, and everything will be in the most complete way. Then Tehei Avodat Gimel Mochin. Then the work that we do with our intellect will be mainly a service in itself. Just coming to understand God. Understand God. That will be a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. To unify ourselves with God by means of a total unity of our intellect with the intellect of God, with the Torah, the wisdom of God. And by means of this, because the Torah and God are totally one, it will be revealed that Jewish people and the Torah are also totally one. So we'll be totally different people. It's like you go up to a bum in the street and say, "Excuse me, do you know? Don't I recognize you for someone?" Let's say, "Well, you're the prince. You're the crown prince of the kingdom." He says, "Yeah, really? I didn't know." He says, "Yeah, you went missing like 5 years ago. Don't you remember?" So I remember something. I get this bump on my head. I remember I got hit in the head, and I don't remember anything after that. And I just went, "Well, you're the prince. You're the crown prince." All of a sudden, really, I really am. But I'm eating from the garbage cans. You don't have to do that. You're a prince. You're a different person, right? None of that. Think of all the good you can do now. You have money. You can make programs. You can help people. I can help people. I have to be helped myself. No, you're not. It's the same thing. All of a sudden, when your mind is different, then your actions are different. Your emotions are different. I mean, just think about this. Nowadays, it's a really big thing. People go crazy. Oh, I want to have a lot of money. I want to be famous. I want to be a star. I want to be powerful. I want to do this. And a person, he becomes like how do they say, a rock star. Everybody's going crazy. Oh, the host got a crowd of like 100,000 people and they buy his records and stuff like that. Who would dream that putting on a pair of tefillin is infinitely more valuable than that? And the proof of it is that when this person finishes being a rock star, he gets off the stage, and people don't listen to his music anymore. It becomes old-fashioned, or who knows what it is. So what's he got? He's got memories, right? But he feels miserable. He doesn't. What he did is gone. But when a person puts on tefillin, it's not gone. His crowd, when the person is a rock star, his crowd is gone. When you put on tefillin, your crowd is not gone. Your crowd is God. A person doing one good deed, that's eternal. It doesn't die when the person dies. When the person dies, only his body dies, and the things that he did only because of his body together. But things that he did because they were good, altruistically things, if they're according to the Torah, of course. I mean, if he was a good, SS soldier, killed a lot of people, he's not going to go to heaven. But that, of course, is determined by the Torah. But the fact is, a good deed is infinitely, infinitely more valuable than having $1 billion in the bank and being famous and being powerful, because it's eternal. But we don't understand it. We don't have our mind. We don't value what a good deed can do. We don't value what a commandment can do. We don't value it. But who would possibly, everybody, any person could go on tefillin, but that's what's a big deal. But to make $1 billion in the stock market, who can do something like that? Nobody. That's an accomplishment. So the answer is, okay, right, it is an accomplishment, but it's nowhere near, nothing even comparable, vaguely, to putting on tefillin. Tefillin is something infinite, but we don't value it in this world. That's the point. And when Mashiach comes, our minds will be different. We'll value it, like the guy with the shoe. Suddenly, everything in the world, and especially the commandments, will be tremendously valuable just in our thought. So it's also another commandment in the Torah to try to understand God. Shema Yisrael means understand that God is our God. It's all in our mind, but our mind suddenly will become a vessel for a tremendous, amazing commandment, understanding God. A little taste of this you can get when you read some of the Maimorim in Chabad, especially the previous Rebbe's father, Rebbe Rashab, is Ayin Beis, and these things. You're just understanding aspects of God. That's what it says. You can look online. There's online. There's rabbis, Chabad rabbis, to give classes in Ayin Beit. It says and Samach Bav. That you should love God with all of your heart. Well, that's the 7 emotions with all of your soul. That's all of your 10 powers of your soul, and all of your modecha. Okay, that all of your soul, that includes all the 10 powers of your soul. That's already a whole level of completion. But called miodecha, serving God, it says in Shema Yisrael, serving God with all of your modecha. This is service which is above any limitation. Just like we said, lech lecha, using all 10 powers of your soul. Until, like it is attached to me'od amiti, the true infinity of God. You'll be able to serve God in an infinite way. Huh? And the preparation and the empowering for this began when that every single Jew will be able to serve God in an infinite way and have an infinite comprehension of what God is. This all began this week's Torah portion 4,000 years ago when God told Abraham, Lech lecha, go from your land. Lech lecha me'artzecha, go out from your land to the land that I will show you. Venatinat Eretz Yisrael, giving the land of Israel, all of the 10 lands, the completed land of Israel. Shezeh kolel, this is the completion of the service of God with Torah and the commandments. V'gamet shlemut shel matan Torah. This is also the completion of the giving of the Torah. Then, in addition to this idea, to the awareness, intellect of the Torah, shebe'erech lamidot, the intellect of the Torah as it is relevant to our emotions. In other words, using the Torah to understand God in order to get more excited about God. That's revealing what's called the 49 gates of understanding, which was given in this world. It took 49 days to get to, and like it was in Mount Sinai the first time that God revealed to the Jewish people what's called the 49 gates of understanding. That'll also be revealed, in addition to that, will be revealed the essence awareness of God, not just awareness of God, how it's relevant to our personality, but the essence awareness of God, revelation of what's called the 50th gate of understanding. At Mount Sinai was revealed 49. It says there's 50 gates of understanding. At Mount Sinai was revealed 49 of them. And in the time of Moshiach will be revealed the 50. But until Kafishu Naila, as it is, even higher than not just the external aspect of the 50th gate, but the inside of the 50th gate, Torah Chadashim Iti Teitze, a new Torah will be given in the future redemption. And I just want to take a short delay here, 1 second. A short pause. Okay, let's go back. Here we go. There. Okay, so in the future, when we get the 10 lands, 10 kingdoms that God promised to Abraham, now we only have 7, then there's going to be awakened in the world and also in our mind a whole totally new awareness of the Creator, and all of our paradigms will change. Suddenly that'll become the most important thing in the world to understand. And that's what Maimonides says, that in the future, when Mashiach comes, the world will be occupied only in understanding God and knowing God. I mean, maybe something like that a little bit is now, where people are crazy about the news. Huh? They're crazy about the news. This is the old thing. They're crazy about the news. They have to know exactly what the president is doing, what his vice is, what his wife is doing, what his Bubby is doing, what the next door neighbor to the president is doing, what he thinks, and what he almost thought, what they said that he thought. They couldn't. And then there's the cabinet. Then you have the cabinet and their wives and their neighbors, and everybody has to see. Putin said this and he didn't say it. He thought he said that he was going to say this. What? Everybody's interested. Oh, did he really do that? Who killed this guy? Who is he really dead? Maybe he's not dead. Maybe they're still. News. Everybody wants to know the news. It's very, very important to know. You have to know the news. Well, in the future, news is going to be okay. I mean, people will know. 90% of the news is unnecessary. The other 10% of the news is almost all, false anyway. Some you can glean a little tiny bit out of it. But in the future, people would they really be interested in? Because when you know the news, now you know what reality is. You know what's really going on in Russia and in Portugal and whatever's going on. So people won't be interested in that anymore. Why won't they? Because there'll be something much more interesting, much more real, much more true. And that'll be God. People feel God is creating the world, God is creating us. How is this? Now it's not interesting to anybody at all. And the future is going to be tremendously, tremendously important. Just like people are interested in the news or they're interested in money, whatever the news is, people will be interested in feeling the Creator. Feeling the Creator. And together with this tremendous revelation that there's going to be, that people will start having a revelation and a feeling of what God is in his essence. Yumshach will also be drawn into the whole world, not just the Jews in the land of Israel. The Torah, by means of the Torah, the whole world was created, not just Israel, every human being. Not it was created, it is being created right now. And when the Jews start becoming aware of it, then the whole world will start to be aware of it until the whole entire physical world, like that's known as the letter Kuf. The 3 lands which have not been given to Abraham all begin with the letter Kuf. Kini, Kenizi, and the Kadmoni. That's it says the kingdom of the Kini and the Kenizi and the Kadmoni. What is the letter Kuf? How does that indicate? Because the letter Kuf is one of those letters that comes below the line. The letter Kuf comes below the line. Kini Kadmoni. There are other letters that come below the line, but those are all final letters like this. But Kuf is a regular one of the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and it's the letter Kuf, and it comes below the line. A Yordis Lamata Min Ashura. See, there's a Nun, but the Nun is one of the end letters. And the Gimel Pamim, 3 times Kuf, this means that godliness will come down below the line. 3 times, it says, is a, like, how do you say, it's like a set thing. If you do something 3 times, it's considered that that's already your nature. You have to do it a 4th time, whatever it is. But you intentionally put on your your pants before. No, it's not a good example. Let me get an example. You intentionally say a sentence from the Torah every time before you get into your car, right? So if you do that 3 times, then you have to do it all the time. It's considered that it's part of your nature now. Every time before you get into your car, you say Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. If you do that 3 times in a row, so it's considered that you have to do it. That's called a chazaka. It's considered that you're obligated from now on to do it. Sheyeh malei haaretz. So if it's 3 times, God will give us the land, the kini and the kinis gadmoni, means this is the letters that come below, down into the earth. The world will be filled, the physical world will be filled with the knowledge of God, like water covers the earth. The whole Torah is written with regular letters that are on the line. Letters that come down below the line is showing they're coming down, so to speak, below the Torah, into the physical world. The lands we're going to get in the future, the kini is kadmozi, all of them start off with the letter kuf, which indicates how the godliness will come down into the world below the Torah, so to speak. Things that seem to have no connection to the Torah whatsoever, right? Your next door neighbor's lawn that's connected to the Torah. What's got to do with, right? Some cat in a garbage can or something. What's that got to do with the Torah? Says, but godliness will be revealed in everything. Like in Noah's Ark, it says in Noah's Ark, we read about last week, because God was revealed in all of the animals that God is creating them, so there was peace in the Ark. The godliness. It affected everything. And the whole world is going to be like Noah's Ark in the future, but a little bigger and a little more active. The Yeshlo first, we can say, Yam, it says that the world, it's a sentence from Isaiah. Where is it in Isaiah 1:3? Isaiah 11. It says, in the future, the world will be filled with the knowledge of God like water fills the ocean. Where is this? One second. It says, Kamayim liyam, like water, the ocean fills the ocean. The word yam, ocean, is the numerical value of 50, which we explained before that's what is going to be revealed in the days of the Mashiach. It wasn't revealed in Mount Sinai, the 50th gate. This refers to the 50th gate that will be revealed in the future. It says, Mayim liyam l'chasim, yam is 50, and Mayim means a lot of water. This indicates on even the world, which seems to be plural, which seems to be, how do you say, diverse, will reveal the oneness of God and everything. Alma de Pruda, this is called the world of separation. And the future with Mashiach says the world will remain the world, and it'll be filled with water, plural, but it'll cover all of the how do you say, the plurality of the world. It'll be visible that all of it is one. Yagili, it'll be revealed that the whole world will reveal that it's just a covering. The world, the yam of the sea of the Torah. Mayim shein lam sof. The Torah is called water that has no end to it. So what are we saying? There's only one creator. There's only one Torah. God gave the Torah, and he created the world. As the world and the Torah are now, we do not feel the godliness in the Torah or in the world. A little bit more in the Torah than in the world, but not. And the whole purpose of Mashiach is to open up the mind of everyone, the extra 3 lands that God promised to Abraham, that our minds will be open so that we'll be able to see and feel the godliness in the Torah and in the godliness in the world. then the world will be, so to speak, like the ocean covers over everything. If you go on the ground floor of the ocean, you see that there's huge mountains and valleys and all sorts of weird stuff, but it's all covered over by the ocean. The ocean doesn't wipe away the differences, but it makes it just show that it's part of the ocean. The same thing, we'll see that this whole entire world is tremendously, tremendously valuable. Infinite value. One of the teachings that we can learn from this, we're going to continue, God willing, tomorrow. But let's start it. One of the teachings we're learning that every single Jew has got an obligation, lech lecha, to go out of yourself in learning the Torah. Because what God said to Abraham, go out, this is all a preparation for the giving of the Torah, bringing God into the world. That we have to learn more Torah, we have to ask more questions in the Torah, we have to bring unique answers in the Torah. Even if a Jew already learned a lot of Torah, but nevertheless, you can always add on. And you can always find something new in the Torah, new questions, new answers. And if you want to see if your questions are genuine or not, if your answers are genuine, then talk to other people and ask other people. That because the Torah is the wisdom of God. The Torah is infinite. Like it says, Arucha mi'eretz mida v'rachava minayam. It says the Torah is wider than the sea. It's in Job, it says. The Torah is beyond measure. But together with this, because it's the wisdom of God, so therefore everything in the Torah itself, it gives the power to give birth to more ideas, more unique ideas. As we're going to talk about, God willing, more tomorrow, how to get new ideas in the Torah, read the Torah. But the main thing is when you read the Torah, even if you read the most simple thing, you'll automatically should have questions. So ask the questions. Ask the question. A lot of people, you see that they learn the Torah and they say, oh, now I see the Torah is not right. But you have these, what do you call a Torah? What do they call it? Torah, I don't know what it's called. See, in the beginning, it says in the beginning, there's different names used for God, showing that there were different authors. Come on, that's what you're sure. That you ask a question. Why are there different names written over here? Oh, because they're different authors. Good, that's an answer. Ask people. Maybe you're wrong. No, I'm wrong. No, that means that you've come to a dead end in the Torah. You have an idea in the Torah. You have a question. Good question. Why are there different names used in the beginning of the creation? Sometimes it says Elohim, sometimes Yud Kei Vav Kei, sometimes this. All the different names. Why? You got an answer? Tell somebody your answer. Go to a rabbi. Say, what do you think about this different? The rabbi said, listen, that's not. Let's look and see what Rashi says. Let's just see what the Ramban says. Let's just see what Orach Chaim says. Let's just see what the Kli Yakar says. All these so amazing, genius people that had the same question as you, but they came to a correct answer. Now read their answers. You got problems with their answers? Oh, let's talk about it. That's talking about learning Torah. That's learning Torah. You get in Torah and you have questions, you want to answer the questions, you come to the answer, you ask people, is this right? And then that brings them to think also, and that increases Torah. And we have to realize that the Torah is the wisdom of God. It is not the wisdom of Judaism. It's not the wisdom of Moses. It's not the wisdom of the rabbis. It comes through the rabbis, it comes through, but it's the wisdom of God himself who's creating you. Therefore, learning more and more Torah, that's what God said, what God instigated in the world when he said to Abraham, Lech lecha, go to yourself. As we'll learn tomorrow, we'll have a class tomorrow. Now, let us learn the Yom Yom. We didn't do the Yom Yom 2 days.